I'm Sam Oches, Editor-in-Chief of Nation's Restaurant News, and I'm here with Lucas Bradbury, the founder of Project Pollo. Lucas, we've seen a lot of plant-based brands spring up around the country. What about Project Pollo is different? What sets you guys apart?
Man, I think it's a lot of culture. I think it's a lot of vibe. I think it's a lot of fun hospitality and just an overall initiative that really wants to put an aggressive step forward in taking care of the community and offering the most affordable access to plant-based alternatives that we can. But they just happen to be probably the best chicken sandwich in QSR right now.
How do you do that? How do you have that culture? How do you lead in culture and specifically with your employees and team?
Well, I don't think there's any easy way to do it. I think the best approach to all of this is just go out there, have fun, let your team know what it is that we as a company are trying to do. Go out there, make sure they're part of it, get them engaged, get them incentives to be part of the program, and let them empower them, the team, to go out there and want to be the difference and make a difference in people's lives.
So tell me about the product though, because plant-based chicken, it's not picked up quite as much as plant-based beef yet. It's a little bit newer to the scene.
Yep.
What's distinct about your product?
You know, we have a great relationship with Tyndall. I'm not sure if anybody's heard of them, but they're a chicken manufacturer that hands down is just the best, in my opinion, plant protein on the market. I think when we look at plant proteins, we look at typically ground beef in the United States because it's the most consumed, but on a worldly approach, poultry is the #1 consumed protein, and that's why we took a stance as a company to make sure we offered a product that was a worldwide approach, and that's something more than just ground beef and burgers in people's hands.
Mm-hmm. We just got done with the panel here for Hot Concepts at Create, and you said something that was really interesting, which is that most people who come into Project Pollo for the first time, they just kind of saw the restaurant.
Yeah.
They're not vegetarian, vegans. They want to come check out the restaurant.
Right.
Tell me about the customer demographic at Project Pollo. Who's your target, and who tends to be coming to the restaurant?
Man, our target is everybody.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that as like a general statement. It's truly everybody. And when you come into any of our locations, you see, high school students, you see millennials, you see the single mom, you see the mom with 3 kids that goes to Whole Foods, you see 450-pound construction workers, police officers, paramedics, you see it all. And when we pull surveys on these people, our guests, we start to understand a little bit better of their behavior. And so when we say 42% of our guests have just drove by, and that's what has generated them into a return guest, that's a real number, that's a real statistic. And then we also look at their incomes, we look at their zip codes, we look at all of this and realize, hey, we're targeting everyday average Americans trying our product, and that's what's really fascinating about the brand that we're building.
You've built 15 locations in just a couple of years.
Yeah.
Incredible pace of growth. What's been key to such quick growth?
The right time to strike, knowing when to double down when the market is allowing valuable real estate to present itself, meaning like in the beginning of COVID, which was the most relevant, and even now there's some fluctuating with the market, and so some really good locations are coming out, and some operators may or may not be a little bit more hesitant to get back into it, right? Inflation's high, restaurants not making a whole lot of profit right now. A lot of these things focus in on, hey, we might actually have a good opportunity to step in and grab some of this. But building this brand is built around investing in the team, making sure that we have a strong foundation, a strong core, and that we're building successful units that may be able to, hopefully one day, continue to scale and replicate into new market entry.
What's next for Project Pollo?
What's next is just focusing on the team, focusing on the core, focusing on strategy and the quality of site selection as we move forward. It's really easy when you're in a young stage and you have a lot of hyper growth to get really excited. Oh, we're going to open this store. It's going to be so fun. Grand openings, ceremonies, like lines around the corner. That's all fun. But at the end of the day, what's most impressive to build a long, sustainable brand is the quality of site selection and just the overall strategy that goes in behind that. So for Project Pollo, this year we're going national, we're going into outer markets out of Texas, and we want to just securely understand, were those strategic decisions, were they valuable? And did they replicate the brand that we thought it would be able to? Did they replicate the message? Did they replicate the experience for the guests? And if everything comes true and we go to the Phoenix market and we go to the Las Vegas market and we come here to the Denver market, if they continue to stay true, that's where we'll continue to see our aggressive national expansion. But only if, because growth in number of units is not fascinating. Growth in quality is the most fascinating thing, growth in team and growth in sales.
Can't wait to watch. Lucas Bradbury at Project Pollo, thank you.
No, thank you, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.